Welcome to The Explainer from the Dume Media. Today, we're diving into the story of a district just north of Mumbai that, believe it or not, holds a pretty powerful title.
So this isn't just some catchy slogan. Nope, it's an official designation for the Thane district. But that just makes you wonder, right? How on earth did a region once famous for being the city of lakes completely transform into the nation's industrial heartland? To figure that out, we need to look at its past, its present, and what's turning out to be a very high-stakes future.
All right, to really get a handle on Thane today, we've got to jump in the time machine and go way back. You'll see that its strategic importance isn't some new thing. It's been built over centuries on a foundation of trade, power, and, you guessed it, connectivity. Looking at this timeline, you start to see a pattern, don't you? Thane has always been a hub. I mean, from an ancient capital to a Portuguese shipbuilding center, it was always in a key spot. But the real game changer, the moment everything shifted, was April 16, 1853. The day India's first passenger railway arrived. That didn't just connect Thane to Bombay, it basically fused their economic destinies together forever and set the stage for the industrial powerhouse it would become.
So let's fast forward to right now. What does it actually mean to be an industrial giant? Well, the numbers and the data tell a really powerful story, one of massive scale, intense pressure, and some pretty shocking contrasts.
Let this number sink in for a second. Almost 77% of Thane's entire population lives in urban areas. You know, we're not just talking about urbanization here. This is hyper-urbanization. It's a level of density that puts this constant, relentless pressure on every single piece of infrastructure, from housing to water to roads.
And this table, this is where you see the human story behind all that urbanization. Take a look at the sex ratio. Just 865 women for every 1,000 men in the cities. That's a huge tell. It's a clear signal of a massive, male-dominated migration, with workers just pouring in for those factory jobs. And at the same time, look at that literacy gap. It's stark, and it leaves women in rural areas at a really significant disadvantage.
So what is powering this whole hyper-urbanized machine? This slide really breaks it down for us. First, you've got a per capita income over 3.5 lakh rupees. That speaks to some serious economic output. All of this is driven by 8 major industrial estates organized under the MIDC. And the engines of this growth, well, they're foundational to the whole country's economy, chemicals and textile. And this brings us to the central paradox of Thane, the real head-scratcher. On one hand, you have this humming, non-stop industrial engine. But on the other, it's still the city of lakes, with over 30 lakes and the Thane Creek Flamingo Sanctuary, which is a globally important habitat. It's like an industrial giant living right next door to this incredible natural oasis. 2 completely different worlds in one place.
But here's the thing. Thane isn't just sitting still. It's already deep into its next massive transformation, using its prime location to become a futuristic transportation mega-hub for the entire region.
And the whole strategy really comes down to these 3 massive, game-changing pillars. We're talking about integrating the high-speed bullet train, a huge expansion of the metro network, and some truly revolutionary road upgrades, like the brand-new Borivali-Thane tunnel.
And that tunnel brings us to this number, 15 minutes. Seriously, that is the projected commute time between Thane and Borivali once that new tunnel is finished. Now, this isn't just a small improvement. This is something that fundamentally reshapes daily life, real estate prices, and the entire map of the Mumbai metropolitan region.
But as you can probably imagine, this kind of intense, almost breakneck growth, well, it comes with a price tag. And this is the part of the story where Thane finds itself at a major crossroads, having to figure out how to balance its incredible progress with the urgent need to preserve what's left.
Yeah, the costs of this industrial boom are pretty severe. I mean, you can see it right here. Heavy air pollution, serious forest loss, and the social strain of these enormous slums. But maybe the most alarming challenge of all is water contamination. Because when the rivers in India's industrial engine get polluted, it's not just a local problem. It creates a systemic risk to the water supply for millions and millions of people across the entire Mumbai region. Now, in the middle of all these challenges, this slide reveals something really interesting, a hidden opportunity. While a whopping 85% of Thane's farms depend on unpredictable rain, there's this massive untapped resource right under their feet. The district is only using about 12% of its available groundwater. That means 88% is just sitting there in reserve, a potential lifeline, really, for building a more resilient rural economy.
So here's the bottom line. Thane's whole journey, From an ancient capital to a modern industrial giant, it all now comes down to its ability to manage these incredible pressures. It's a really high-stakes balancing act, where the future of its economy and its environment are both hanging in the balance.
And that leaves us with this final, crucial question. And it's a question not just for the future of Thane, but really for India's entire growth story. Can this incredibly powerful industrial engine be re-engineered to also power a truly sustainable future? Thanks for joining us for this explainer from the Dume Media.